Hey, happy Thursday! My name's Clover Thursday and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing an Illustrator speed paint. You know, oof. But yeah, we're doing an Illustrator speed paint and I've got to tell you guys I learned a lot of shit while doing this one. Mostly about kind of incorporating textures, using like a lot of the appearance panel on Illustrator and gradients just to add a little something extra to your vector illustrations. So that'll be kind of fun. We're also kind of doing another character design. As you saw in the beginning, it was actually supposed to be a trifecta, I guess, of characters, but I'm just gonna show you the one that I did first, just because the process is kind of the same for all of them, and they're not done. So first, how I started out was, with a pencil sketch. I can't sketch digitally, at least not as efficiently, and I just can't seem to get my ideas out as quickly, like sketching digitally, than when I just do it on paper. That's just me though, like, do you, boo. So anyways, I started out with a pencil sketch, and then I've just put that as the top layer and just put the opacity way down, and just sort of did that, like did my pen tool shaping on the layer below. That's how I do it. I know you can do a template or whatever on Illustrator, or like make it a template layer, but I didn't do that. Because of the design of this really angular character, the pen tool actually, and Illustrator in general, worked really, really well of just really quickly creating this this character shape I was going for. I was also very inspired by a lot of just like that indie game aesthetic. Like, not in one in particular, but I was just imagining these characters as enemies in like an atmospheric 2D platformer or something. Like, that was what I was going for. But now I think about it, Fury kind of comes to mind, just with the colors, but you'll see that later on. And then I was just using the shades of gray just to create form and tone just right off the bat. So firstly, that I wouldn't get confused if I was drawing out the character, and it also helps me pick my colors for later on. As I always say, work in grayscale, and I find it's really helpful to work in grayscale, especially if you're doing kind of graphic minimal stuff like this. Shape really matters with a character like this. Like, that one triangle, it helps define so much form of the shield, And I've said this before, I have this like crazy love-hate relationship with Illustrator. I understand its purpose. I understand like why so many people love it. I understand why it's very important to know how to use it, and it's kind of why I wanted to just sit down and do this, just to practice. And nothing makes me want to practice things more than giving myself little projects to do. So like these kind of characters, this character set was kind of my little project to be able to, attempt to keep my Illustrator skills fresh. But Illustrator is a fickle one, and every time you think you know what you're doing, you suddenly don't. Like, I'ma not lie, that masking for those pantalones, I keep calling them pantalones because I think it just sounds hilarious. But man, did that take me a minute to remember how to mask. So, fun fact, this character and the other two characters were loosely based off gemstones, chess pieces, and playing cards. I just had this random idea of like making a ruby knight and, like a pearl or sphere or sapphire bishop and like a topaz rook, something like that. That was like my weird idea, and I just sort of ran with it. I'm pretty sure I made these sketches up at like butts o'clock. But sometimes the best ideas come at absurdly late in the night. I like to call it the witching hour, where all the weird shit starts coming out. I actually started doing automatic drawing. A friend of mine just sort of like suggested that because I just felt like I was kind of drawing similar or the same things, and I wanted to I want to do a project in the future that just has a even more surreal elements to it than my work already does have, and I just really wanted to cut loose. So I've actually dedicated a whole sketchbook for automatic drawing, and it's been a trip. But I don't know, like real talk, I think it's nice to have like a book or a sketchbook that you know you're not really gonna show anyone, so you can just sort of let the id run wild, the subconscious kind of go wild, and draw shit, and it might not look nice, it might look dumb, but you're kind of cool with it because you don't have to show anyone, you don't have to perform. I think it just gives you a chance to sit with the fact that when you make a bad drawing, it doesn't make you a bad artist. And I think that's a bit of a secret that I think a lot of like really amazing artists have figured out, that it's just like doing things that make you uncomfortable and you're kind of gonna fail at will only make you better. And when I say you, I'm talking about me. Like it's something that I'm going through my own journey as an artist, as someone who wants to perfect their craft one day. Does that make any sense? I don't know, but I'm keeping it in. Ooh, deep artist psychology over here. But I don't know, that's just something I feel on a little deep level. But anyways, existential, philosophical, human pursuit rant aside, we're getting into the coloring, and I'm kind of referencing the shades of gray and just transmitting them into the red. So like the darkest gray turned to the darkest red, midtones, etc., etc. And I was pretty simple with this color palette. It was a ruby night, so I kind of kept it this red color, and I found the warmer tones just kind of looked more appealing in some areas, like almost turning some of that red into almost like an orangey color in some areas just looked nice to me. And those pantalones are giving me hell again. And once I kind of figured out what colors I was gonna finish it off with, I honestly, earlier me would probably just stop here and call it a day, like it's all colored in. But I really wanted to get a more different look with Illustrator. Like I just found myself looking at a lot of vector images that I've created and just been like, it just needs a little something, like some texture, I'm a gradient fiend, if you guys know. So I did get into gradients. So I pretty much selected all my sub layers from the initial drawing, copied and pasted it, and initially I was just gonna put a gradient over that, but then I realized I had to use Pathfinder and merge all the shapes, and I had some like weird tangents, like if you saw like bumps on its legs, because the pantalone stripes again. But I ended up just getting rid of that group stripe layer because it was completely irrelevant, because I was filling that shape up with a gradient anyways, and that just solved my problem. So if you have troubles, like weird shit starts happening when you're combining your shapes in Pathfinder, maybe it's just simplifying those little details. So I did that, and I put a gradient over it, and then I found blending modes in Illustrator, and I just blew my freaking mind. Like my friend was on a Discord call with me, sometimes we'll do that, just draw and chat, and she's just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's blending layers, like blending modes in Illustrator. And really, and it's under transparencies actually. And if you ever don't know if Illustrator has something that exists, if you actually hit the help tab on top and search, it'll like it'll show you like the menu paths to get to things. So I actually did that with textures because I was like, does Illustrator have textures too? And it does. It's got like these awful kind of presets, as you can see here, that I was playing around with. And I just ended up going with a simple grain. But there's a lot of things you can do and add on top of it to create different looks. And I was just really jazzed about that. So on my texture layer, I actually, copy and pasted my silhouette again, and then applied the texture on top of that, and then used the blending mode. I'm pretty sure I used overlay, and just did that, and it just gave just a bit more of a different look to the drawing, and I think it finished it in a way I wanted it to be finished, and I was really excited about it when I finished it off. And yeah, and I'm looking forward to continuing the little series. I'm probably not going to record that because it's again more of the same thing, but it'll definitely go on my Twitter and my Instagram, so you can follow me there and you can see all the other artwork that I don't do speed paints for, which is a decent amount. But I was just, again, I was super happy with it. Even I have another character vector design, cat hero. I will leave an eye to it or something, and I love that character design, but looking at this one, I can see the improvement and just me getting more of a knack for Illustrator and kind of making it do what I want it to do for once. So I'm thrilled. And now I'm just adding a little embellishment. This is kind of where the playing card kind of inspiration came from. At first I was trying to figure out suits for them, me and my friend, but I was just we'll just keep the simple shapes. And that'll do it for our Ruby night. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And if you liked the video, give it a like and leave a comment down below. Are you an artist yourself? Is half the things I say in my videos go over your heads? I'm curious to know what my little subscriber family's made out of. If you like this video and you want to see more of my stuff, you can hit that bell, and every Thursday a new video will be delivered to you. You can also stalk and or support me on all my social media and shop links that are down in the description, and you can check out other Illustrator character design videos on the screen. I think Cat here is going to go up here, and whatever else YouTube deems worthy. Anyways, guys, take care. Talk to you next week. Bye.